Hey, so, yeah, today is one of those I don't even care right now days. But there's a good reason for that. Maybe not. Uh, Yesterday I got in a car accident, and technically it's my third accident. The first one I ever had was just kind of a little side swipe thanks to blind spots. I hate blind spots. The second one was I got T-boned, and that was technically my fault, but it was during winter, and literally neither of us saw each other until impact. There's like frost on the person's windshield who impacted me, and I somehow did not see them at all either. But it was winter, so that explains part of it. And yesterday, I got in a one car accident. It was just me, thankfully. I was on the highway, and all of a sudden someone was coming into my lane. They didn't see me, so I immediately swerved to get out of their way. I was in the middle lane, apparently, and so I swerved to the right to get out of their way, but then I must have jerked too hard, and when you're going, highway speed, any movement makes a big difference. And so I realized that I went too hard, so then I overcorrected too hard, and that's all I know. Like, I really don't remember anything. All I remember, the last memory I have as far as prior to the accident, is the person seeing the car coming into my lane. And I know that I jerked, but that's really all I remember. And then there's just like, I know I was out of control, and I remember thinking, I hope I don't die, and I'm really not in the mood to go to the hospital. Not in so many words, but those are like the brief thoughts that came into my mind. And I eventually wound up in the like foliage. I just spit foliage like next to the highway. I spun off, so I don't even know if I was spinning. I don't know what happened, but I ended up over a ditch in the highway. So I was pretty shaky right afterward. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened to my car. I'm so glad that I can tell I'm not hurt. Thank God. I don't know how I'm not hurt. But then I didn't know if I'd hit anyone. I didn't feel anything or hear anything that would make me think I'd hit anyone, but I didn't know. So I opened up my car door, and I realized there's like this little mini swamp below me. So I can't easily just like step down, and I'm in this ditch next to the highway. And then there's like, this little hill thing leading up to the highway. So I opened up my car door, and I just stood and just looked out my car door because I couldn't immediately get out of my car easily. And I noticed that two people were stopped. Well, one person immediately I could see was on my side. They had pulled off to the shoulder of the highway. And then I realized someone else was stopped on the other side, and I thought, oh my gosh, what if I hit them? What if I made them hit each other? I don't know what's going on. Why are they stopped? And so I just stood there looking. I didn't know what to do. And then one of them started backing up, and I realized, okay, so they are stopped for me for whatever reason. So I climbed out of my car. I took my shoes off, which is probably not smart to do next to the road. There's a lot of trash, but I didn't want to get my shoes muddy, so I took them off, being the dumb person that I am, but I was fine. And I climbed up the bank thing next to the highway, and I found out that eventually the other woman pulled over to the same side of our highway, and they both stopped because they saw me careening out of control, and they didn't know what was going on. So they were good Samaritans, and they just stopped and to see if I was okay, and I was fine. So I went back to my car to get out the valuable stuff, I guess. And meanwhile, one of them had called the police, and they sent the first people to arrive were, sorry, this is not working, were like the emergency vehicle people, because they didn't know if I was injured or what. She just called them. This is sliding back, so annoying. Whatever. So they got there, and they wanted to make sure I was okay, and I told them, yeah, I'm fine. And they asked me like 10 times, are you sure you're okay? You're sure you're okay? It's like, yes, I promise I'm okay. I know you have to ask that to make sure and not drive off when someone's injured, but I swear I'm fine. Just freaked out a little bit, but tried to keep my calm. Didn't cry or anything. And then, so the two ladies were there, and one had to leave for her job, so she left, and the other lady was staying with me, but it was beastly hot out. And eventually, we were waiting for the cops to come, and I was trying to help, the emergency guys and give them information. And she was sweating. The lady that was with me was sweating, and I felt so bad for her. And I was figuring, like, the tow guy could give me a ride home, or I didn't know what, but I didn't want, she was waiting in case I needed a ride home. But I didn't want her to have to wait for me, so I said, it's okay, you can go, I'm fine, it's okay, thank you, and we gave each other a hug, and she left. Should have gotten their information, their names, their numbers, should have done that. So dumb of me not to. So they left, and then the police came. And that's when things started really getting poopy. Because supposedly, I'm going to find this out later on, hopefully, but supposedly, people saw me careening out of control, and someone or people, I don't know if it was one or more than one person, called the police and said there's this person that's driving crazy. So the police got that call, and then a little while later was when one of the women who stopped to help me, that's when she called and let them know there's been an accident. So they got the crazy driver call several minutes before the accident call. And because there were several minutes in between those two calls, the police thought that I was just being a bad driver, and they would not believe me when I told them, look, whatever the person saw who saw my car going crazy, it was because I was trying to avoid the other person. They were like, no. This call came several minutes before the accident call. So you're going to tell me, they literally said these words, you're going to tell me that someone with your exact same kind of car, with your exact same license plate, was not driving crazy, and there's not going to be any reports like that. It was like, I don't know if someone said that. I'm sorry you're confused, but the reason that happened was indeed because I was careening out of control trying to get out of someone else's way, and I can't help when calls come in from other people, but I swear to God I'm not a bad driver. But they would not believe me. So there's a lot of questioning like that, and eventually the tow guys were able to winch, whatever that means, get my car out of the ditch. Because it wasn't just on the side of the road, it was apparently, I just found out today, it was 60 feet away from the road. So, yeah. And so I was sitting in the tow guy's car, and then the policeman actually gave me a citation for driving too fast for the conditions. I don't know what that means, but I was going with the flow of traffic, so I'm going to contest that somehow. I was not driving insanely fast. Neither was I driving through many lanes up until the person tried to pull into me. So that was annoying. And today I've just spent most of this morning making more phone calls than I've ever made in my entire life, trying to figure out what do I pay? What does the tow people pay? What does AAA pay? Because I do have AAA. What do they not pay? How do I get my car from the tow lot to the collision people? What is that going to cost? How can I get recordings of the 911 calls that were made on me? Because I have no memory of this, so I want to hear what people were saying. Oh, that cost $50. Cool. What police people do I talk to get the information? It's been crazy. Because I obviously, aside from having to pay for fixing my car, which thankfully it's not totaled, I don't believe. Aside from that, and having to pay probably for some amount of towing, right now I have to pay, well, never mind, yeah. So, aside from that, I do want to go to court to not have a 2-point ticket on my license, but I'll probably have to settle for a 1-point ticket, which is unfortunate. But then I really want to hear what people were saying on the calls about my driving crazy, because my brother, being the wonderful person that he is, took me back. I was going to try to retrace my driving to see if it jolted my memory, because I literally have no memory of it really at all. It just happened so fast. The driving really didn't jolt my memory at all, but we were looking really closely, sorry, there's something in my nose. We were looking really closely to try to see where exactly I slid off at, and we discovered that it was 0.4 miles from where I pulled out of to merge onto the highway. To get on, from after I merged onto the highway to where I had my spin off or slide off moment, it was 0.4 miles. So how on earth I can be happily on the highway in the center lane, which I don't remember being in, but according to the tire marks, I was in the center lane. How I can get onto the highway, merge into the center lane, have someone almost pull into me, veer, do this, and slide off in 0.4 miles, and have multiple people call in about my car and get my license plate number. I'm not sure how that could happen. So that's why I'm going to work hard I'm going to use the VOIA, which is is it FOIA? No. I forget the technical jargon now, but it's the the Availability to Get Information Act, the whatever, I think it's FOIA. Freedom of Information Act. There we go. Yeah, thank you. I can't think straight. So I have to pay $50, but they're going to eventually send me the recordings of the calls that came in once I fill out the form, and that'll help me know what the police were talking about and see if they exaggerated details at all. I looked up the police department that came to me, and everyone hates them, just to be honest. I'm not going to say who helped me, but there were several reviews online. They're like, these people are worthless, and they don't do anything. So, that makes me feel real confident. But anyway, that's been the grand adventure, and just disagreements with how to pay for things and wanting to work on this on my own, but having a parent who loves me dearly and wants to help me work through this, but probably should have just let me try to figure this out on my own. It's just been crazy. But all that to say, I do have to say, I don't want to sound completely ungrateful. What I am going to say is I'm so grateful, so grateful to have friends who are willing to help. I was able to call someone and they were able to pick me up yesterday, and they drove like an extra half an hour to get to me. That was amazing, and most importantly, I'm so grateful to be alive. I can't tell you, because the women who stopped on the highway to see if I was okay, they both said, I don't know how your car didn't flip. Your car should have flipped, but it probably was going so fast that it went airborne over the ditch rather than flipping over the ditch, and just kind of slid into the brush behind. So I still can't believe that I was in an accident where I could have easily died. Other people could have easily been injured, because since I was clearly in the center lane, which, like I said, I don't remember, there's another lane that I slid across. I could have easily hit several people. I don't know what other lanes I was veering through when I lost control of my car. I have no idea. I could have been spinning. I have no idea. So the fact that I escaped literally without a scratch and no one else was hurt is nothing short of a miracle. And then the fact that my car is not totaled, is just going to probably have a lot of repairs. That's another miracle. And also really nice, because this car was the car that I got after my previous accident, T-bone accident, which did total my car. So I am very grateful to be alive, but I don't think it's really sunk in yet. I just can't fathom the fact that I almost died, really. And other people could have almost died. Yeah, so I'm really grateful for that, and I am grateful, even though sometimes, I feel like, oh, my parents, they work so hard to help me, and they just need to let me fall on my butt and, figure my own stuff out. I'm so grateful that I have parents who love me dearly and will do anything they can to make sure that I have a good life. Yeah, it's crazy. This experience has been crazy. But there's definitely a God in heaven, because those women, they were like, you're so lucky. You're just so lucky. And it's like, yeah, well, it's because I've got a God who's looking out for me. So, if nothing else, and if you hear this story, please believe me that there is a God who's taking care of us. And if he wants me to die, he will find a way. But if he doesn't want me to die, then I can veer across every lane of traffic on an 80-mile-an-hour highway and slide 60 feet off the highway backwards and escape without a scratch. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, God is really good, but I've got a lot of things to work through now, so it's going to be hard, but everything happens for a reason, and just got to remember that and be grateful for the good things. There are many good things, and I'm here at home, happy and safe, so if nothing else, I'm extremely grateful for that. And yeah, so thanks for listening to my super long story. Bye!